there is a whole new menu at the Steakhouse here in Disney Village, so let's go and try it. Hi everyone, how's life and welcome to another one of my videos. So yes, there was recently a change of menu here at the Steakhouse in Disney Village. You can see it just over here. And I thought I would try it, especially because this is a restaurant that I haven't eaten at for almost 2 years at this point. I think the last time I was there was March of 2023. So it's about time I test it out again, go and see if the new things on the menu are worth it, if the restaurant itself is good, because it's never been one of my favorite restaurants, I have to be honest, and especially over the past few years, I feel like it's kind of gone downhill. So I'm really interested to see what the new menu is going to be like and if the quality has improved a little bit, because the location of the restaurant in Disney Village is one of my favorites, and the actual steakhouse itself, we're going to have a look obviously when we go in, it's pretty cool in there. So it's a shame that the food has never been too appealing for me. In case you've never eaten at the Steakhouse before and are wondering where it is, it's basically towards the end of Disney Village. So you can see to my left there we've got Pandora Magique, loads of walls up at the moment obviously because they're working on Disney Village. We've got some of these tiny shops to my right, the Rainforest Cafe, and then McDonald's over there. Right next to it is the Steakhouse. It's also quite a big restaurant, and generally I wouldn't say it's one that requires a reservation. I mean, it's obviously always a good idea to get one anyway, especially if you're a bigger group, but it doesn't need one. It's normally very easy to get. Even if you go there as a walk-up, they should have space for you. It's open for lunch and dinner. Obviously right now it's at a time you can probably tell by the fact that it's dark. It's actually 9 p.m. and my reservation should be in about 5 or 10 minutes, so let's head in. Here's the entrance over here and also the menu, which I'm going to show you in more detail once we head inside, but I thought I would give you a quick overview. I think what I'm going to go for is the set menu, because it's often better value for money. You can see here the menu Chicago is 45 euros and you get a starter, a main course and a dessert with it. But of course they also have a variety of steaks and main courses a la carte. Without further ado though, let's head in. Oh, it's nice to be in the warmth. We've got a cow welcoming us, which is quite nice. It's actually, like I said, one of my favorite restaurants in terms of the actual location, the coziness, the vibe. It's very steakhousey. And when I say it's very steakhousey, this is what I mean. I mean, look at this artwork here. All the different parts of the mutton and lamb, which is interesting. They also have some photos of different historical people, I would imagine, which is interesting. There's me, and I'm excited for food. I'm quite hungry. I'm excited to get all 3 courses tonight. Let's check in and see what table we get. And just like that, we are being taken to our table. Wow, there's a piano here, grand piano. Don't remember this being here. That's quite nice. And then this is the actual restaurant. You can see the big lights up there. There's loads and loads of space, loads of tables. Beep. Merci. There you go. This is our lovely table for one over here in the corner, which is nice as well. But again, I wanted to just give you a quick glance as to how big the restaurant is. So this is probably another reason why it's not very difficult to get a reservation here, because they have loads and loads of tables available, and it's also not the most popular of restaurants in Disney Village. So we've got our 2 menus on the table. That's the drinks menu over here, which I know what I'm going to go for already. I generally tend to go for an apple juice, but I'm going to show it to you in case you're interested. They have a variety of different alcoholic beverages, some cocktails, of course, a selection of soft drinks as well. And then, of course, over here, we've got the main menu, the food menu, which we're going to have a look at together. Guys, cows are some of my favorite animals, and I like how many cows you see here at the restaurant. They even have one on the table over there, which is quite nice. But anyway, let's have a look at the menu. So, as I mentioned, they do have some set menus. You can either go for one with starter, main course, and dessert, or just one with starter and a main course. If you would prefer to go a la carte, these are the selection of starters that are available here. And then in terms of main courses, you can see them over here. They also, of course, do have some vegetarian/vegan options. So it's not just meat, it's not just a steakhouse. And then if you want to go for a steak, a different cut of steak, they have a couple of different varieties here. They've got an L-bone, they've got the filet mignon, Angus ribeye, which is what I would go for if I was going a la carte, but I'm going for the set menu. They also have the chuck flap, priced at 33 euros. And I've just spotted over here, they have a couple of options to share, which, as you can see, rather expensive, but then if you're sharing it between 2 people, it makes sense. You've got a rib of beef for 100 euros, a flank steak for 72 euros, or a mixed grill for 69 euros. And then you've got your dessert selections over here, and the kids menu is on the back for children between the ages of 3 and 11. It's priced at 25 euros, and you can see all the options available. You also have the meal plan here, so meal plans are accepted, so annual pass discounts, because it's an official Disney restaurant. Now I'm looking at the set menu. Like I said, I'm going to go for the 45 euro one, Chicago menu, which is a starter, main course and dessert. I think for my starter, I'm going to go for the Caesar salad. Sounds pretty good. It's romaine lettuce, Caesar dressing, crispy chicken fillets, garlic croutons, and Parmigiano shavings, which will be nice. And then for my main course, I'm going to have to go for the steak. I think it makes sense. We're in a steakhouse, and the only steak option on the set menu is one, which is the Angus chuck flap smoked pepper sauce. It's approximately 190 grams. And for my dessert, I'm gonna go for the chocolate fudge cake. I'm a big chocolate lover, so it makes sense. And just like that, my drinks have arrived. I went for an apple juice, like I said, and a bottle of still water as well for the table. It is important to note that soft drinks, or any drink for that matter, is not included in the €45 price tag, but I've got my apple juice here. Cheers to you guys. And just like that, I've already got my starter presented here, which looks very nice, to be fair. It's a Caesar salad, like I said. You've got some chicken on it, some romaine lettuce, the cheese, of course, and the croutons. I'm excited to dig into that. I've also got a piece of bread and some olive oil. The lovely cast member asked if I wanted some. I was like, why not? And, of course, you can never forget the famous Disney butter that you can get at most table service restaurants here in Disneyland Paris. I'm not sure what to start with at this point because I've got my bread and the butter and the oil, but also this beautiful looking salad is sitting in front of me. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and try the salad first. I'm trying to go for a bite with a little bit of everything. So you've got the lettuce there, you've got your chicken, a little bit of the croutons too. The Caesar dressing is beautiful. I'm really getting that garlic flavor as well from the croutons, and the chicken itself is nicely cooked too. Overall, a pretty good salad, nice portion as well. So I'm going to continue enjoying that, have some of my bread and butter and olive oil as well, and then we're going to be ready for the steak. And just like that, I am done with my starter, my first course. And as you can see, there was a lot of salad dressing in there. The salad dressing was also very delicious, I have to say. The mustard especially in there, you could really taste it. And then this olive oil and the butter with the bread, absolutely beautiful. So yeah, we're off to a good start so far. Let's see what the steak is like when it comes. And just like that, my steak has arrived. As you can see, there it is. We've got some fries next to it, some sweet corn. This is the pepper sauce. And the cast member did ask me if I wanted some French fries or maybe mashed potatoes instead. So there is an option to have some other kind of side next to your steak if you would prefer that. But the standard would be the French fries that I have right now. I do also just want to say that so far, from my experience, the service has been excellent. Really, really good. Very attentive service. And they even brought me some more bread, which I didn't even ask for. I don't think I need it. But we do have some more bread if we want to continue with the butter and the olive oil. But I think right now I'm going to dig into the steak, which I'm going to be honest, doesn't look cooked medium to me. It looks a little bit, cooked more than I would prefer it, but maybe it's just the type of cut that it is. We'll see. We'll cut through it and have a look. Now, just a reminder that this is an Angus chuck flap in terms of the cut of the steak, which I believe is kind of like sirloin. So yeah, not my preferred or favorite type of cut, but I didn't want to go like I said, I wanted to get the menu. Otherwise, I would have gone for the ribeye, which I believe the ribeye steak was something like €42 on its own. But the way we've done it, we're getting a main course, a starter, and a dessert, all for €45. So it's definitely better value for money. Without further ado, though, let's cut into this steak. Okay, it's not cutting too easily, but then again, it could just be because of the type of steak it is. Inside of it, I will say definitely is medium, so happy with that. I'm going to taste the steak on its own first, and then we'll have a little bit of the pepper sauce and some mayonnaise too. Very, very chewy. So it took me almost a minute, I think, to chew that bite. The flavor's not bad though. The actual taste of the steak is nice. It's well cooked. It's just very chewy, and that could be again because of the cut of the steak. It's, I guess, a slightly cheaper cut of it, which is why they have it on the set menu. I'm sure if it was a ribeye, it would be a lot softer. So I don't want to blame the restaurant because it's the cut, and I kind of knew what I was getting myself into. This does make me want to come and try the ribeye one day though. So let me know in the comments down below if you've tried it yourself, or if you would like me to come and try like an actual steak properly from the steak menu here. Let's try some of these fries for now. Fries are good. I enjoy the fries. The steak isn't bad either, by the way. It's just not amazing. And like you saw, it takes a long time to chew, which I'm not a big fan of. I prefer softer steaks. Fattier steaks, perhaps you could say. Ribeye. Let's try some of this steak with the peppercorn sauce, though. There you go. Let's give it a go. Again, it's taking me a long time to chew it, so it is definitely a very chewy steak, but the flavor is really nice. Even the steak on its own was nice. The peppercorn sauce is really delicious as well. So if you're here for the flavor and not the texture, you probably would really enjoy this. But if you are kind of more of a texture person, you probably wouldn't enjoy this so much. And for me, the fact that I'm chewing this piece of meat so much, and I have to chew it because of how chewy it is, because of the texture of it, it's making me not enjoy the taste quite as much. Even though the taste is there, it's a nice steak, just not very good quality. perhaps. And listen, that's in a way my own fault. I chose to go for the €45 set menu. I knew that there were other options I could have gone for, other steak cuts that I could have chosen if I would have, been happy to pay a little bit more. So yeah, this was the only steak option on the set menu, and obviously it was the only choice I had because I wanted to go for a steak considering we're in a steakhouse, and I just don't think it's the best quality steak. It's not bad, by no means it's bad. I want to stress out, it's not a bad steak, especially when it comes to the flavor. The flavor is really delicious. It's just the texture, not for me. It's too chewy. But yeah, of course I'm going to continue eating it. I am going to finish the steak. It's just going to take me quite a bit of time probably because of how long it takes to chew every bite. But the fries are really nice, like I said, and the sweet one I'm going to try in a bit too. Got some mayo and some olive oil and bread still. So overall, it's gonna fill me up, which is what I needed because I was very hungry tonight.
A few minutes later.
Well, I've just finished my steak and I am so full. I cannot believe I've got a chocolate fudge cake coming soon as well for my dessert. But going back to the steak, it honestly wasn't too bad. I almost enjoyed it in a way. Like the taste was definitely there. It was quite nice and flavorful with the peppercorn sauce especially, and the fries were nice as well. It just wasn't anything memorable. I think the best way to describe the steak would be mediocre and unmemorable. It wasn't offensive by any means. Like I didn't taste the steak and think, oh my God, how can anybody cook steak so badly? It was just fine. I'm never gonna crave the steak again. It's not like the most memorable or amazing meal I've ever had, but it was fine. It was an enjoyable meal overall. And now I'm genuinely thinking, how on earth am I gonna have this dessert? Because the steak was very filling, especially with the fries, the potatoes, and the sweet corn, and the bread that we had earlier as well. I don't know if I've got much more space left. And my chocolate cake has now arrived as well. I'll be honest, it took quite a bit of time actually between finishing my main course and the dessert to come, but I'm not mad about it because I needed that time to digest a little bit, if that's not too much information for you. But yeah, this is the chocolate cake, the chocolate fudge cake. It comes with some custard on the side and some beautiful decorations as well around it. So yeah, we're gonna give it a go and see what it's like. In case you're interested, by the way, it's currently 10:40 p.m. The restaurant is open until 11 p.m. and my reservation was for, I think, around 10 minutes past 9 is when I got seated. So I've been here for just over an hour so far, an hour and a half I would say, and this is the cake. Oh, this is a nice shot. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Equally, I'm a little bit worried as well because this is a pretty big cake and I could easily be done with my meal now. Like I'm full. I don't need to have this, but I want to have this, so we'll go for it. There you go. It's a little bit of the chocolate cake on its own first. It's lovely. It's, I would say, exactly what you would expect it to be. A chocolate fudge cake. It's quite nice and moist inside. The chocolate is really lovely as well. Let's try a little bit of the custard with it too though. Much better with the custard. You need the custard if you don't want it to be too dense, because as you can see, the actual cake is very, very chocolatey, and I don't mind that, but the custard makes it nicer. So yeah, I'm going to enjoy as much of this as I can, and then I think I'll next speak to you when I get the bill. I'll show you the bill, and then we'll head out. And just like that, I've got the bill here with me, and as you can see, altogether, my total price came to €46.32. That's with my annual pass discount. Of course, I did get a couple of soft drinks as well, so if I didn't have the annual pass discount, it would have been probably closer to €50, or maybe €52, €53. So yeah, not too bad, and this is what the atmosphere looks like right now. Not too many people left in the restaurant. I wanted to quickly show you a little bit more of the restaurant as well because, like I said, I really enjoy the setting. I mean, these lovely windows make it feel like a very nice and open atmosphere. It's also, like I said, a very big restaurant, and the tables aren't very close to each other either, so it's quite relaxing in here. And then this over here is the other dining room, which has the beautiful, very bright chandeliers up here, and this huge sign over here that says Chicago Beef Warehouse Co., quality meat purveyors. So yeah, a very nice setting in my opinion anyway. I'd love to hear your thoughts though. What do you think of this restaurant if you've eaten here before? What do you think of the look of the restaurant? Look at that. There's quite a few props here and there as well, making the restaurant even more interesting. Merci, au revoir. So yeah, pretty decent meal I would say overall, but I'm going to share my full thoughts when we head out. It is 5 minutes to 11 p.m. and we have just come out of the Steakhouse restaurant here in Disney Village in Disneyland Paris. As you can see, Disney Village looks very quiet at the moment because the park closed at 9 p.m. That's when the fireworks were, so I'm guessing most people are either in a restaurant eating or back in their hotels. You can see all the works going on there. I can't wait for Disney Village to be transformed hopefully in the next year or so. But let me quickly share my final thoughts on the Steakhouse here in Disney Village. This was actually, I believe, my 4th time eating here at the Steakhouse over the past decade, which isn't a lot considering how often I come to Disneyland Paris. I've only been there 4 times, 3 or 4 times probably. So it's not one of my favorites, as you can see. It's not a restaurant that I ever crave to go back to. The only reason I wanted to check it out again was because they had a new menu and I wanted to see what it's like, which, as you guys saw, was fine. Overall, it definitely wasn't bad. I think my highlights were the starter and the dessert. They were better than my main course, which is a little bit of a problem considering the restaurant is literally called the Steakhouse. So you would think the steak, the main course, would be the highlight. And the steak was definitely not very good. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't phenomenal either. So I don't know. I was kind of hoping that tonight's experience might change my thoughts on this restaurant because, as I said, I really do enjoy the restaurant atmosphere itself. I think it's a really beautifully decorated restaurant. I like the vibe of it. It's just the food has never really wowed me. It's always just been mediocre at best. And when you've got Brasserie Rosalie literally on the opposite side of the steakhouse, I find it difficult to recommend the steakhouse because Rosalie has much better food. The restaurant there is also very pretty, nice atmosphere, beautiful windows, and similar prices to the steakhouse as well. So that's probably why the steakhouse is often quite empty. It's definitely not very popular. You can easily get reservations, you can, get walk-ups there, but it's there. It's like a nice, comforting person. I don't know why I'm comparing the steakhouse to a person, but it's like that old friend that you don't get to see often, but you're happy that it's there as a backup in case you ever feel like, you're bored of everywhere else feels packed. You know that you can always trust the steakhouse to give you a meal that's going to fill you up with reasonable prices. Getting pretty good service as well, I have to say. Shout out to Nadia, my cast member. She was amazing. But you're not going to be impressed by it. You're never going to be like, oh my God, that food was delicious. You're just going to be satisfied, is the best way I can put it. But I am rambling. It's windy. I need to get back to my room. But I think you kind of got the gist as to what I thought of the steakhouse in Disney Village. But I'd love to hear your comments down below. Have you ever eaten at the steakhouse? And if you have, what did you think? Did you get something else to what I got? Maybe you got something better. Maybe you were happy with it. I am genuinely very curious to hear your thoughts on it because I feel like it's not a restaurant that many people talk about because it's just not very popular, but it is there. It's like quite a big space too. So I'm hoping that one day I'll have a meal that's going to be very good and make me want to go back more and more. And maybe I will come back and get the ribeye steak. Let me know if you'll be interested in that. They also have a burger, which is new on the menu, but it's called I'm Going to Love You and Leave You. Huge shout out to my lovely Patreon members and my YouTube members. Thank you to you guys for watching the video as well. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.